Dad, you missed it again. 5 simple words, but they hit like a sledgehammer to the chest. And no boardroom failure, no dropped deal, no missed opportunity will ever cut that deep. Here's the brutal truth most successful fathers won't admit or even dare to say out loud. You can earn millions, you can build empires, you can dominate your industry, but if your kids grow up with memories of your absence more than your presence, then you failed at the most important job you'll ever have. And let me be clear, it doesn't have to be this way at all. And let's face it, there's no award for being the busiest ghost in your home. Today, I'm sharing the exact 3-step system that transformed me from a distracted, dopamine-addicted dadpreneur into a husband and a father who walks through the door fully present while my business continues to thrive. The rituals that have helped me stop walking into dinner like I was still on a sales call. The scheduling system that finally got me out of maybe later mode with my family. And the connection methods that made my daughter stop asking, "Are you working again?" And I believe they can work for you too. If you're tired of watching your life happen through your wife's Instagram stories, if you're haunted by moments you'll never get back, if you're just done pretending everything is fine while your soul quietly bleeds, and if you want to build a legacy that matters more than any business accomplishment or anything you can build, stay with me, because this might change everything for you. I've spent almost 20 years working with thousands of entrepreneurial fathers who were crushing it in business, but failing where it mattered most, at home. They started their businesses to buy the freedom that they thought they would get, but instead they accidentally built cages of obligation. And here's how it always looks with my clients. The pattern is painfully predictable. You're physically present, but you're mentally absent. You're in the same room as your kids, but your mind is solving work problems. Your child's voice becomes background noise by your own Slack notifications, and you're listening while scrolling emails under the dinner table. Your kid looks up and sees you looking down. They feel it, and you feel it. And your children know it. They feel it too. Harvard research actually shows kids can detect parental distraction within seconds. They can tell when you're fake listening. And the consequences are devastating. Harvard Center on the Developing Child show that inconsistent parental presence creates attachment insecurities that can follow children into their adult relationships. Children with distracted fathers are more likely to struggle with self-worth, have difficulty forming healthy relationships, and even repeat the cycle with their own kids. Listen, it doesn't just ruin bedtime. It literally rewires their brains. But I'm not here to guilt you. I'm actually here to free you, because unlike many of life's big challenges, this one has a clear solution. Let's dive deep into the first crucial step, which is creating transition rituals between work and family. If you think you just try harder and somehow you'll become a better dad and a businessman, let me tell you, that does not work, because the problem isn't effort. It's actually neuroscience. Your brain doesn't auto switch from CEO to dad just because you crossed the threshold into your home. You walk through the door, but your mind is still chasing the to-do list, you're replaying the Zoom meetings, and you're editing your sales copy in your head while your kid's trying to tell you about what they built in Minecraft. When you walk through your front door still carrying the mental weight of your work, you're robbing your family of your true presence. And they feel it immediately. So the solution here is to develop what psychologists call a transition ritual. It's a consistent 10-minute practice that helps you mentally clock out from work and fully clock into dad mode. Here's an example of how mine works. Before leaving this space, which is really my office, I complete a day closer ritual. I write down my top 3 accomplishments for the day, I identify the 3 most important tasks for tomorrow, and then I verbally declare, my work is done for today. Anything urgent can wait till tomorrow. My family needs me and deserves my full presence. Then, because this is my office at home, I listen to specific music that shifts my energy. So I'm not taking business calls, I'm not on listening to a podcast of hustlers tell me to work harder, just music that elevates my mood. And finally, and this is crucial, absolutely crucial, I sit in my office for at least a couple minutes before I go see my family. Close my eyes, I take a deep breath, and I visualize being the father my daughter deserves for the next few hours. I see myself being patient, attentive, fully engaged, and I see myself being present the same way for my wife later on that night. So when I walk into the living room, I'm a completely different person. And my daughter can feel it, my wife can feel it, and the quality of those first few minutes that I have sets the tone for the entire evening. One of my clients, Michael, was skeptical about this approach. And he ran a construction company with constant emergencies, if you can imagine. But after implementing this with his 8-year-old son, he noticed the difference within days. And his son had said to him, "Dad, you're actually listening to me now." And that single comment made Michael realize how long he'd been missing what really mattered most to his son. Transition rituals alone aren't going to be enough. You need to protect specific time for your family, which brings us to step number 2. The second critical component is implementing what I call strategic time blocking. Most fathers make what I think is a devastating mistake. They try to find time for family after everything else is handled, after the fires are put out, or after the emails are done, or after everything else. But let me tell you something uncomfortable that you already know. After never comes. Like, there will always be another problem, another fire to put out, another pitch, another reason to delay what matters most. So we're gonna flip the script. You don't find time, you build it. And then once you build it, you guard it and you protect it like your family's future depends on it, because it does. So here's a system that works. At the beginning of each month, you want to block family time first in your calendar. And you want to treat these blocks with the same reverence and regard you'd give your biggest client meeting or investor pitch. And I recommend starting out with just 3 categories: daily connection points, like dinners and bedtimes; weekly one-on-one time with each child, like a date; and then monthly family adventures or activities. And once these times are blocked, you build your business schedule around them, not the other way around. And I came up with this because it was inspired by Mike Michalowicz's profit first philosophy. Just like we pay out our businesses first when money comes in, we take our time and we pay our family first. But here's the key that most people miss. You must have accountability for these commitments. So yeah, you gotta tell your partner. You gotta tell your children exactly when you'll be present. Put it on the family calendar. If you don't have one, get one. Create expectations. So when your 6-year-old knows that Wednesdays at 5 p.m. is your special time together, that creates a sacred appointment that you don't wanna break. Now, I had another client, James. He was a software CEO that I worked with. He implemented this system after missing his son's birthday for a client emergency. 6 months later, his son said something to him that nearly brought him to tears. He said, "Dad, I know you'll be there because you promised." Can you imagine what that feels like? That's the transformation that happens when children start trusting you again. But we need to go even a level deeper than just showing up. We need to connect in very meaningful ways. And this brings us to the third, and I believe the most powerful step of all: developing personalized connection rituals with each child. Generic quality time just doesn't cut it. It's like giving every employee the same holiday gift card, right? It's lazy, it's impersonal, and it's easily forgotten. Your child doesn't just want your attention, they want to feel seen by you. So here's the secret. Design unique recurring rituals based on each child's passion. How do you do that? Well, you start by observing what lights each child up. What are they curious about? What brings them joy? And then create a recurring activity around that interest that only you do with them. For example, my daughter, she loves to go on adventures. So we go on these little missions, nothing big. We'll go hunting for a delicious donut, or we'll go mini golfing or a lunch spot, or we'll watch football together while she asks me about the game. These aren't just meant to be necessarily just fun activities, although they are, but they're identity forming experiences. Because when you consistently show up for these personalized rituals, you're telling your child, "I see you, I know what matters to you, and I value our connection so much to build my life around it." I have another client, Mark. He's a real estate agent that I coached, and he was struggling to connect with his teenage daughter. Now, after learning connection rituals, he noticed her passion for photography, and he knew nothing about it. But he bought 2 cameras and suggested they take weekly photo walks together. And those walks became a sacred space where the conversation flowed naturally. And 6 months later, she chose to show her college application essay with him first, something that he didn't think would even be possible. Because connection builds trust, and trust builds legacy. When you implement these 3 steps, transition rituals, strategic time blocking, and personalized connection rituals, the transformation extends far beyond your relationship with your children. First, your business actually improves. You start working smarter, not longer. So you become more decisive and focused because you're not willing to waste time on low-value activities that steal from your family. Second is your children develop unshakable security and confidence in your relationship. It creates a psychological safety that allows them to take healthy risks, to develop confidence, to open up to you, to form their own secure attachments later in life. Your marriage transforms. Your partner finally sees you fully step into fatherhood, creating a new level of respect and admiration. I mean, many men I've worked with report this as an unexpected benefit, even though that's something that they wanted. Their marriages improved dramatically when they became more present fathers. And perhaps most importantly, you break the cycle of generational trauma that comes from being an absent dad. You create a new legacy of engaged fatherhood that can impact generations to come. Listen, I've given you the framework today, but I know you probably have a lot of questions about how do you implement these strategies? What do you do in your specific situation? I get it. So that's why I created a comprehensive training where I walk you through this entire system from start to finish. You'll get step-by-step guidance. You'll get downloadable templates for creating your own rituals or ideas and solutions to the most common obstacles that I see dadpreneurs face. And this isn't just another be a better dad pep talk. This is a proven system that has transformed dozens and dozens and dozens of entrepreneur fathers and their relationships with their children. So my question for you is, are you ready to ensure that you never hear those devastating 5 words again? Dad, you missed it again, from your children? If so, I want you to comment LAUNCHPAD below this video and I'll personally send you the link to the training. And by the way, this is just one part of a bigger system I use to support my clients who want to crush their business, but they want to do it without crushing their family. If you want to check that out, click the link in the description or in the thumbnail that pops up here, and it'll walk you through how I help high-performing dads build powerful businesses without leaving their families behind. Listen, your business will be forgotten within a generation, but your impact as a father will echo for centuries through the lives of your children, your grandchildren, and beyond. It's time to choose your true legacy now. I'll see you in the next video.